Hello, I just wanted to make a video on Phi-2, which is a small language model similar to something like ChatGPT or something, except you can run it on your own computer. And it is a very small model, so you can run it on practically any computer that you would be using nowadays. So it's 2.7 billion parameters, which is very, very small in comparison to any of the AIs that you would be used to using. Um, so, um, and it's it is generally very good for getting you to a starting point if you don't know what you should start with for something. I it's um so in general it can do the Q&A format, which it tells you right here. If you want to go and look at the thing that I'm showing right now, it's just here on Hugging Face. Just go to huggingface.co/Microsoft/Phi2. This this is an open source thing, AI published by Microsoft. Um, there is some sample code in here that um you guys might want to use if you want to try it out. So um what you can do is you can just give it a question or something like that, um and then it will give you an answer. I've had some trouble with it though. It's very good considering the limitations of it being 2.7 billion parameters instead of the hundreds of billions of parameters that something like ChatGPT would be. Um, it actually touches on this in its Hugging Face. Um, it will constantly generate inaccurate code and make up facts. It's close, but it's never really quite there. Um, and if you're asking it to do something with any complexity, it will understand that you want to use a specific idea, but it won't know how to. So what you can do is you can actually just ask it to do that complex thing, and then you can figure out what it's trying to do exactly, and then use that. Um, so if you're using this on your own machine, one of the benefits is you can give it certain information that you might not feel comfortable giving something that's run completely on the other side, like ChatGPT. You might be nervous that ChatGPT is going to steal your info or use it to train more. Um, you can actually set up Phi-2 to not look at that at all. Um, I will also point out this is not Copilot. If you're thinking that this is Copilot and going to give you similar answers, no, this is significantly worse because it's running on your hardware instead of theirs. So, but if you're coding with it, it talks about this. It talks about like um what it can use well and stuff like that. Um, it can, as all of this is saying, it can say some things that better models or more advanced models, I should say, with more parameters and all of that, might not have to deal with. And it also, another good thing about it is a lot of these open source ones, since they don't have to sell it or anything, they can produce any output, which you can't do with a lot of the other AIs. You can't do that with something like ChatGPT or something. That's why if you ask it how to do something illegal, it will tell you that that's illegal. You can't do that. This one might still try to tell you that, but you can tell it, just don't tell me that, and it will tell you whatever you want just fine. If you want to try it out, you can go to Spaces and then just search up Phi-2 on Hugging Face, and you'll find plenty of options. This is just a simple Phi-2 one that you can just run and ask it whatever questions you want. Uh, it's decent. I have tested it. I've tested Phi-2 on a lot of things, and what I've figured out from all of my testing, this is you can copy this code if you want. In Google Colab, this works great. It will allow you to test it in your own ways and all of that. You just copy this right file, copy this, and then you can. I wanted to make sure that Hugging Face and Microsoft wouldn't know any of the questions I'm asking or anything like that, just to make sure that you can't be spied on. This is always a good thing to do after you've downloaded the model, so that you know that they can't take any info from you. Um, so this is all running on Google Colab, and you can basically just run it and click Run All, and then it will run all of these, and it will do all of this. So, yeah, so you just need to write those 3 write files, and then you can just exclamation bash run.sh and then whatever your question is. So, um, it is not good at a lot of coding languages. I have figured that out when looking through it. I wanted to point that out. Can't code in 90% of coding languages. If you ask it to code in Rust, it will mix up Rust and Scala and just give you a mismatch. Just random stuff that's kind of one, kind of the other. If you ask it to write C, it will be close. I think that this C code was actually pretty decent, but it didn't do what I wanted. And that's a common issue with this. Yeah, this one was close. I don't remember what the exact issue was, but there were issues with the code. You can look through. Um, I'm going to scroll through all of the answers it gave me, just so that if you want to look at them, you can see them. But so I asked it. So I'm interested in like SQL and coding. Obviously, I'm writing these videos. Um, but yeah. So here. So once again, it's decent at things like SQL. It's decent at things like C. It can get you close to anything, but it won't actually do perfectly on most things. It will rarely give you the exact correct factual answer. It's very rare it actually will get you exactly there, but will get you in the ballpark. Same here, I believe it was close. So so most of these it was really close, or some of them it was pretty far off, but it gets the idea of what you want. So if you actually look at the code and try and fix it, then you can actually do stuff. So once again, I keep on asking it more computer science related questions because of course I'm going to. But so Yeah, most of these are really close. And keep in mind, it is random. So if you give it the same exact question I keep on giving it, then you will get the correct answer eventually. Or you're likely to. Technically, you're not guaranteed to. But that's not a good way to spend your time. Just learn the coding yourself and then copy and paste it or use a better alternative like ChatGPT or some of the other um, really great open source options I'll show later for coding or other logic based tasks. So it's close, and some things it does get completely wrong. I don't remember which things it got completely wrong. Uh, its math is terrible. Don't trust what answers it gives you if you ask it what even 2 plus 2 is. I don't. Most of the other things I was saying it's close, I'm not too sure about math. I wouldn't argue that it was super. It it does give you the steps well, but it doesn't give you actually anything. Uh, I I don't remember how close it was to all of these. You guys can fact check these on your own. I'll make sure to fact check them for future videos to figure out what exactly that it got wrong. And now here is the part where it actually does pretty well. Are things like writing persuasive arguments and stuff like that. Because there isn't a correct answer, it can write something that would be persuasive. So this is where I like it, is things like writing emails, writing persuasive arguments, and stuff like that. That is what I would argue is good. Um, I I don't think I'll get a lot of use out of that, but if you think you will, then Phi-2 might be actually very good for you. Is writing stories and stuff like that. You still should change it, and you should be very specific about what you want. Um, it's always pretty close. So that's my ideas on Phi-2. Phi-2 is really great for getting you to a starting point. So if you actually want to learn how to do something instead of having an AI do it for you, like ChatGPT might or something, you can use Phi-2 and it will get you close to it, but you can figure out what it did wrong. That's another cool thing about Phi-2 is it will get you close to whatever you need to do, but it won't get you close enough that you can just it won't get you there. So you can actually learn the stuff and then try and do it based on that. Um but if you're actually trying to get it to just code for you like you could with ChatGPT or something, I don't recommend it. If you're trying to get it to answer math questions for you, I don't recommend it. If you're trying to figure out what the first step you should take in a math problem is, then I recommend it. So anywhere where the complete correctness matters, I wouldn't recommend it. Anywhere where the complete correctness is not the main thing that you are worried about, then it's great. It's very fast. Most of these things that it does take under 2 minutes on your computer, and this is on a Google Colab computer with like 12 gigabytes of RAM and stuff like that, and it's not using more than like three. It's very fast, especially in comparison to anything that would be much better. Well, thank you guys for listening to me ramble about Phi-2. If there's any other AIs or small language models or anything like that that you want me to talk about or test, um, I will say apparently Google Colab hates you if you try and do like a 7 billion parameter one on just CPU. which I can't blame it for. But other than that, I'm very willing to test the rest. So I'm thinking I might test like, um, I think that there's a llama 3 billion parameter one and stuff like that, and see if it's more correct, or if it has the same limitations, and see if there's like coding specific ones or anything like that. Well, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Uh, See you guys.